Oh, the record industry.
Funding. No, but
Funding.
Or to the point, I wanted to know how'd you get away with the sample
Oh, that's right. That's what he said.
on Shake the Joint.
Or 70 samples.
70 samples.
To tell you
There's no sample on there.
You had a band
No
just
samples
play
on
something,
anything.
right?
Yeah, I thought we hired a bunch of guys.
Well, you know, the funny thing is, bass music is not gonna hide away from it because Afro Rican, give it all you got, sample the hell out of other records, and
yeah.
Fergalicious,
All of them.
they use the whole
Yeah.
track itself, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, if you get away with it, you get away with it. But
we're all guilty.
that puts the
Yeah.
pieces together. And that bass music is what I felt a lot of the samples did. You know,
I'll tell you this: when you were doing it on our level, underground, if you want to call it that,
Didn't matter.
out of your trunk, you know.
didn't
And plus, to be honest, it was kind of the wild, wild west, even for the big fish at the time. You know, nobody really knew how to handle it. The record companies were freaking out, but at the same time, they weren't. they were still putting the records out.
They weren't freaking out. This is why Atlantic dropped the release of Welcome to the Planet Bass
Well,
Part 2, the return of the
the
Planet
second
Bass.
one, yeah.
Because
Yeah, that's
too much
yeah, exactly.
too much of that, and then
Too much of some of
the
everything.
brakes got put on that record. It's like,
Fear of the Lucas Police.
sorry.
Yeah.
Exactly. So to say, you know, we took chances.
We took chances.
We just, you know, we would.
But now the funny thing is, once I'll put it this way: once I started working with a label, once I couldn't handle it anymore, and went and did things with Pandisc, and I know this has happened with other people, other labels. You're supposed to tell them what samples you're using, you know, and to be quite frank about it. At the time, okay, we were this level, we were low, they were the next rung up on the ladder, and they were like, you know, just, you know, be judicious with it, and they'd throw it out, we'll handle it. So, you sampled stuff, you know, because like you said, you couldn't get away from it. You couldn't make a record at that era without putting a sample on it.
And you
And
didn't
no
want to-
disrespect,
and you
as a matter of
didn't-
fact, it's actually respect to the people that you're sampling.
Mhm.
I mean, in a perfect
It
world,
was.
Now
in
it's
a
not look
perfect
like that at all. But,
Exactly.
But you didn't want to incriminate yourself and reveal all your samples.
No.
Well,
No.
we went and sampled this, and that.
No.
You
Which
told-
of course led, at least in my case, which led me to, okay, if that's how the game's going to be played, I'm going to get more obscure with what I sample. Okay? I even sampled, you know, those corny records that came out, all the great hits, you know, 20 hits of whatever, and they were recreated. They weren't the originals. It looked like a K-Tel record, but it wasn't a K-Tel
You
record.
sampled all those corny records of how to dance.
I did those, you know, I made sure it's like, okay, you gotta have the sample vibe to it, but, okay, I'm gonna step back and just use stuff that's just
I think
left
you
field.
sampled so much stuff just to see what you could get away with.
Dude,
And finally,
I started
you know
living,
what?
I started
They caught
living
up
at
with you.
Goodwill. I started
The
living
St.
at the
Louis
Goodwill
police.
stores, man. I found a record, it's on, I forget what song, what it's on. I found a record that was from a high school. They did a synopsis of their senior year, and they put it on vinyl from like 1967 or something. That was like sample gold. To find that, you know what I'm talking about. It's like, there ain't too many people that know about this.
Right.
And I can tell you the drop-in, it's, they were asking the foreign exchange student, you know, what it was like. And he was stumbling through his English. I tried to find the room. I tried, you know, and I had Paul was scratching with that, and it was lovely. It's like there's this very clear voice of somebody saying, you know, I'm trying to find the room. They got a little funny accent, and it's like, I dare you to find that.
No, so you went for the underground stuff. I said, you know, bump that shit.
Right,
I'm
you
going
went-
to get Star Wars. I'm
Right, I know.
putting C-3PO in my
Right.
shit.
Right. Yeah.